Every Valorant player knows that for a couple of weeks, our friendly music-loving assassin became the absolute stuff of nightmares thanks to a controversial patch, to say the least. Almost everyone complained, unlike most quote-unquote controversial patches where some people might complain and some people might applaud it. And Riot definitely felt the heat. Last time on Behind the Change, we went over why Skye needed to be nerfed based on the cooldowns providing her too much flexibility over the course of a round. But ISO is a different character and does different things, so we need to examine a different perspective of the game, how ISO perverted the core mechanic of Valorant, and then examine that patch's broader implications for the entire match. ISO's shield has always been a tough nut to crack, pun intended. If you strip away all assumptions and pit a shielded ISO against a regular player in a one-on-one duel, with both using the same weapon, ISO is likely to come out on top. ISO's shield ensures that the first bullet, which would have hit, simply doesn't. No matter how many headshots a weapon might require to kill, be it 1, 2, or 3, ISO will always hit that crucial number first if both players fire simultaneously and land their shots. But what happens if you shoot first? All you need to do is just keep the mouse one button pressed, negating that one round difference, especially if ISO only starts shooting by the time your second shot fires off. This is where Valorant's natural mechanics fail you. At a significant amount of ranges, the second shot in a burst will have a significant inaccuracy and recoil. Relying on the second shot to connect after the first is absorbed by ISO's shield means relying on a 0.3 degree of error to connect, where the Vandal's standing inaccuracy is 0.25. Add in other factors like ISO moving or your habit of moving after the first shot, and this 0.3 degree error can escalate into a nasty miss, swinging what would have been a favorable fight for you into ISO's win column. If you're 20 meters away from ISO, this means that the 0.3 degree error will be around 10 centimeters off from your current crosshair placement, which is enough to ensure you have a good chance of missing that second shot. 30 meters away brings this to 15 centimeters, and so on and so forth. We can see here that hitting the first shot dead center on the head at 20 meters gets you the second shot on target, but no one's consistently doing that, generally speaking. Most players may be aiming just a tiny bit too high, too off, just enough that the 0.3 degree error matters a whole bunch. Plus, this exacerbates the effect RNG will have on actual kill security. This first version of ISO required him to get the first kill naked, without protection, making his first kill advantage practically even with the opponent dueling him, and sometimes worse due to him not having strong utility to boost his chances compared to Reyna's Leer, Phoenix Curveball, Neon's Relay Bolt, Slide, Jet's Dive utility, etc. This first pick disadvantage was so significant that many people thought he was the worst duelist ever, since he had very few ways to open the round compared to other duelists at the time. But once he acquired that shield, he could potentially dominate a round, turning his performance into a virtual coin toss. While conventional wisdom is to avoid him entirely so that you may have a better chance when you do engage him, this was rarely possible, especially for first contact, even more so with the 20-second activation window. ISO could be well prepared with a shield for multiple phases of the round and not be pressured for time to secure the next kill to prevent it from going away. In many cases, it is not so simple to fight for key areas without coming face to face with that shielded ISO. Util can only do so much to maintain space, so the first pick still matters a lot. ISO gets the first kill and you feel like you can't stop the round from slipping away. Facing a 4 versus 5 situation as opposed to a balanced 5-on-5 significantly ramps up the pressure on you. Even if you don't realize it, Riot definitely overcorrected to say the least, but the follow-up nerf, pretty solid. With his shield being unrechargeable, he won't have a constant dueling advantage throughout the round, pushing ISO's players to spend their resources wisely. 12-second duration on shield before losing it permanently also means that opponents have breathing room to make moves in a round without having to be extremely worried about facing a huge disadvantage when fighting for control all the time. Fighting ISO can be a real pain today, but it looks like Riot's found a sweet spot. Better than before. They've elevated ISO from obscurity while still ensuring his aggressive power fantasy, but they also recognize the need for skillful economic gameplay decisions from the part of the ISO player. ISO's main advantage remains. That 0.3 degree error will always throw you off a bit, or whatever error it is from any weapon you choose. However, as long as he doesn't have it permanently throughout the round, maybe we'll let him have this win. These two episodes we looked at were very macro heavy, and even if we did look at the micro interactions, we still did in the context of the macro round. Just to treat ourselves, next time on Behind the Change, we'll be looking at Sova's reveal nerfs in 4.08 and 7.04, both on the Recon Bolt and his Owl drone. To be honest, these changes happened when I didn't fully understand the game myself, but now I feel I get it. And if you don't, that's okay. That's what we're here for. Stay tuned. Thinking of making content and your own videos? You might be interested to know that this video and thumbnail was made with Conciliere, a tool designed to help you figure out how to optimize your thumbnail for eye catch and click-through rate, preview it in a realistic environment, and also analyze your scripts to make sure you're holding your audience's attention the most. Based on real data, Conciliere will predict changes you should make to your videos before you post them to give your channel the chance it deserves. Click the link in the description to learn more.